Yo, 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 yo. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today is December 14th, 2024. Officially 17 days left here in the year of 2024. And man, today is the Jordan 11 Legend Blue weekend. Shout out to everybody out there. I'm your host, Lewis, of the One Pair at a Time podcast channel. Waiting for a couple of the guys to go ahead and hop on here. Right now, running a little bit of a solo mission. Shout out to Jason Corley. What's going on with you? Who else we got in here? DJ Tyler Radio. What's going on with you? Mr. Thing I'm Possible. Yeah, man. Just getting off work. About to jump on I-70. Yeah, he said he's going to be running a little bit late. What's going on with you, Jay?
Hey, brother, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Man, everything is good, man. Just busy, fam. Y'all know I got a lot. Well, everybody don't know what's going on, but everything is all good, man. No complaints. How about yourself?
No complaints. No complaints, man. I'm just rocking out right now. Yeah, Jay's going to listen. For those of y'all tapped in right now, Jay's going to be coming in and out of the broadcast. He's got some things going on there at the house. But either way, man, I'm here rocking with you guys. We should be hearing from Purple Haze at some point in the day. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, right now, kind of rocking a little bit of a solo mission. In any case, guys, definitely want to express our love and support for you guys, the viewers that tap in each and every week, and even the new people that tap in to rock with us, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. Tyler, what's up, bro? How we doing? How we doing out there? So, a lot to discuss today, man. As I said before, we're 17 days away from hopping into, basically closing out 2024 and going into 2025. And this year has been an interesting one, to say the least. A lot has happened, whether it be personal lives, but mainly with how things go sneaker wise. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say, man, for what they're talking about doing for 2025, people are not gonna even necessarily remember that much of 2024. And here's what I mean. Being as how it's Jordan Brand's 40th anniversary, we've got a lot of news and information as far as what shoes are going to be dropping for next year. And when you think about a lot of the quote unquote grails that they're talking about dropping out there, man, it's interesting how people are going to have to move. Just to name a few, right? Undefeated fours. We've got Union frags. There's talk out there, although it hasn't been confirmed yet, of them possibly bringing out a What the Dunk. Or bringing back the What the Dunk. They might do a new one, might bring back the old one. They're doing a What the Kobe next year, for my Kobe heads out there. Now, mind you, that's not necessarily...
Let's go.
Yeah. Now, that's not obviously necessarily Jordan Brand, but just Nike in itself, right? White Cement 4s next year. Black Metallic 5 Reimagines next year. They're doing another Wu-Tang shoe that they're going to drop now next year. I mean, just, those are, again, just to name a few. And when I said about those undefeated 4s, mind you, they're talking about dropping two different versions. A Jumpman version, which is basically like the original that released. And then there's a Nike Air version that they're putting there on the back tab as well. And the releases themselves, I mean, it looks like it's either, for the amount of shoes they're talking about dropping next year, it's either going to be every weekend in 2025, and basically you'll be trying to chase something, or damn near every day. Damn near every day. And it's going to be Nike Jordan brand overload. And to me, it's going to put those other brands on notice because let's be honest, okay? Sneaker culture, granted, Adidas, respect the company, they had their run as far as, back in the day with like Run DMC, and then obviously the Yeezy brand, which now is sitting in like Adidas outlets for half off, if not less. New Balance, obviously there's a lot of people who are into the New Balance thing, but they've gravitated to New Balance because why? Because they were looking for an alternative thing to wear because they were having a hard time copping the Jordan sneakers or the Nike sneakers.
Lou.
Asics, go
Hey,
ahead.
Lou, my bad. I just want to say something. I'm going to cut you off. Part of the reason too why a lot of people went to the New Balance side of the house too. You got to remember, so the New Balance was not as expensive as it is now. So it was not only it was a hard cop to cop Jordans because of all the botters, terrible bot protection, but then also the sneakers were a little bit more affordable in terms of price point. So what you're saying is 100% correct, but I do feel like that price point also was like, okay, it's a little bit cheaper. And now New Balance was starting to add, fresher materials to an older silhouette, better upgraded materials, and people started really gravitating towards that.
Yes, New Balance does put on some pretty decent materials. The suedes that they use, the mesh materials, the nylons. Interestingly enough, they don't do a ton of leather that we know of. They have them out there, obviously, like the new, what is it, the 550s? Obviously, those leather. Um, but the 550s had their run, and then they just kind of fizzled out for whatever reason. You know, and like I was saying, Asics has tried to obviously jump into the fray of everything going on with sneakers and being a uh, viable, rather, company in the shoe game like that with some of their collaborations. Jeffrey, what's good, man? Um, but when we look at what the landscape of sneakers is today and where things are going to be going, all right, the the foundation of what we have right now is Nike and Jordan brand. And regardless of how you guys feel about, some of those other brands don't have the weight to sustain the culture as to where it is right now. They just don't. They just don't. Now, mind you, we got a lot of up and coming sneakerheads who never saw Mike play, right? Which is why a lot of them, though, have had opportunities to gravitate into the sneaker game through like Kobe Bryant, and rest in peace, Kobe. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant. It's sad, but an interesting dynamic. The prestige now of the Kobe sneakers because he's no longer with us. It's almost as if it should be an example to say you gotta appreciate certain things or certain people while they're still here because you never know. You never know when things could change up. And just imagine what things are gonna be like when it's Mike's time. The amount of people that are gonna scramble to get all things Michael Jordan. Scramble for that.
Let me Let me jump in real quick. So when you say that, let's talk about not only about the sneaker aspect. Yes, we are a sneaker channel, but people don't know. Like, I used to collect basketball, baseball, football cards like crazy. I still have like a crazy collection from when I was like 12, between 10 and maybe 14. Right, even with my
Mm-hmm.
comic book collection. So what you're saying is right. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with you 1,000%. When it comes to memorabilia's, when it's going to come to those basketball cards, even though basketball cards and card trading is trying to make a comeback right now, you know, everything will explode at that given time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you 1,000%. There's no discrepancy in what you're saying. So I'll tell people this, man. Like, when give your loved ones. I'm taking away the aspect of fame. I'm taking away the aspect of anything like that. I'm just talking about your loved ones. Give your loved ones their flowers as much as you can. And the thing about Kobe's is that some people say Kobe is their greatest player of all time. They love the Mamba mentality. They love that aspect of Kobe really didn't give a care about how you felt about him. Oh, y'all want to talk trash? I ain't gonna shoot the ball today. I'm gonna pass the ball to an entire teammate for the whole entire game. Since y'all want to talk crazy, okay, I'm gonna play crazy. I love that aspect about Kobe, man. If y'all remember that. And that dude was so mentally tough because everybody said you're not gonna win a ring without Shaq. His perseverance, his just I don't care mentality, but his work ethic was like none other. If you heard the interview with Tracy McGrady,
Yeah,
he was like, I went downstairs. Kobe was already down there working out, laughing. He was already down there before everybody else.
it's true. That's
So
true.
that work ethic, you know, absolutely paid off dividends for him. And I'm not talking about money wise, I'm talking about dividends in terms of his legacy, in terms of what he was able to bring to the game and trying to change the game as well.
Very true. Very true. And to that aspect of what you're talking about, where Kobe was, would be found in the gym hours before anybody else. Um, I think it was Shaq that told a story. Not Shaq. I forgot who it was. Someone told a story about how they were to play a game in Miami and they were able to have a night out. And this was Kobe's rookie year, where everyone's out having a good time and stuff like that, and Kobe decides to leave early. Also, he could be in the gym the next day, 6 o'clock in the morning, shooting around, getting ready for a game that night. And the work ethic of Kobe, which, was really highlighted after he retired, is one that obviously now we have a lot of players that try to aspire to, and a lot of people just in general try to have that Mamba mentality, that mentality of not quitting, putting your head down, going to work, doing the things that others won't do, put in that time. But again, with the landscape, as I was saying earlier, with the landscape of how things are right now and what they are perceived to be coming up, it's definitely going to be an interesting year. Now, why else am I talking about this? Okay. Now, they've been saying this for a long time. Every year, it's supposed to be a change. But I think it has not been a louder signal put out there by Nike brand with the way things have moved this year. Most of your GRs have sat around on shelves and pretty much gone under retail. And for us as consumers, that's great. That's great. And mind you, today we've got this shoe dropping, right? As I said earlier, Holiday 11s. This time here, Okay, Legend Blues or Columbia 11s, however you want to refer to them. All right, dropping today.
Yo,
We might see them things actually sit around. We might see them sit around. And the reason I say that is because I know, at least in my area here in Palm Beach County, Florida, with my local JD, full size run for exclusive access, sitting hours after release. Now, a more telling sign as far as how maybe the country's going to move. The very next day, exclusive access for Ship to Me. Again, full size run, sitting around. We might see, like I said, these holiday 11s sit around, eventually end up in outlets due to various things, returns, allocated stock being moved. Heck, smaller sizes are going below retail right now on the secondary markets, and we saw that when after the shock drop pairs released. But, and shout out to everybody right now in the chat. Fact, Emil Cell, Fire Coop, Jimmy, Jason. Shout out to you guys in the chat right now. I'm going to get to some of these comments here in a minute. Bringing this up because of this. Okay. It has not been any louder than it has been as of recent that, and if you're watching and paying attention to how things are going on, Nike is definitely going to make some changes for 2025. We're hearing about a lot of shoes dropping next year. A lot. And now we even got pictures of Fat Joe showing off the bread force. Not just any bread force, the off-white bread force. A unicorn of unicorn sneakers that only Virgil Abloh's wife has ever been seen on feet with them. So there's a possibility that that shoe comes out. And I told my guys in our chat, I would gladly give up any W, all my W's next year to be able to hit on that shoe if it actually releases. If it actually releases. Because that shoe has been rumored to even have multiple pairs be made. That's number one. And B, just the fact that they're talking about releasing that damn thing. I'm showing you. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
That off-white bread will be so hard to cop and highly sought out. I don't feel like that would be a GR. I feel like if Nike released that silhouette, it is going to be very few pairs, and the sneaker community is going to lose their mind. I feel like it's going to be almost as heavy as the Marty McFlys if they release that. That's my prediction. Almost.
Man.
Like the Marty McFlys. And if y'all don't know when I say Marty McFly, I'm talking about the Air Maggies, all right? The Magellan's. That's the crazy sneaker, bro. If that drop, that's definitely a must have in the collect, bro. Like, not only is that a talking piece, but that's like one of the, like, how did you cop a grill like this? How did you cop something like this? How were you able to obtain something like this? So I agree with you. Now the price point, it could be real funky, bro, because I could see that going for 250, 300 easy. And 250 might be very nice just because it's an off-white.
Yeah.
I mean, disagree,
Yeah.
agree, but I
No.
can literally see it
No,
being under
Jay.
300.
No, Jay. I agree with you because this is the other part of this conversation. So right now, showing this here on the screen, right? Stock numbers. There's no way we go into 2025 seeing stock numbers for these shoes out here the way they were in 2024. As a brand, Nike has information and data to a lot when it comes to the selling of the merchandise that they put out there, especially when it comes to retros. And remember, back Q3 of 2024, we saw a 1% uptick in sales for Nike, 6% for Jordan Brand, which the 6% they were cool with. The 1% for Nike overall, that's what caused basically the floor to drop out for Nike's share price. That's why it went from being over $100 some to now it barely hovers to 80. Granted, it went up once the announcement of the new CEO happened, which is nice. But when we think about the amount of different shoes that sat, I mean, heck, we even seen Jordan 4 sit around.
So
Yep.
remember, we talked about this. You know, everything is done strategically. So don't think Nike will say, okay, we're gonna still sell this sneaker at, I'm making up a number, 220, right? But
Mm-hmm.
Nike has a prediction when something's really gonna sit. They have analytical data to say, okay, you know what? We still can profit if we sell the sneaker at 160, right? So don't think Nike has not already taken account of what if. So when we talk about that 6% Jordan increase, when we talk about that 1% increase in Nike, we have to look at it as a term of they're still making a profit. Now, what they're trying to do is they're trying to maximize their profit as much as possible. And with that being said, 2025, in my opinion, we will see a lot of 2025 pairs that's going to be pushed to 2026 because there's so much heat, there's so much coming out, and potential of logistical issues that may occur. We're gonna see sneakers. They're gonna be trying to highly sought out to get early. I foresee that in the future. Now, with the price points going up, right? This could kick Nike right in the back end, right? But they still can make their money because a lot of people saying, I'm not paying 300, I'm not paying 350, I'm not averaging 225 for sneakers no more. So again, and plus we already know people want comfort. And right now, when you talk about Hokas, when you talk about Asics, New Balance, people are looking for that comfortability and styling as well. I still think Jordan brands are comfortable, but a lot of people are like, nah, we need more comfort, more styling. And remember, fashion has changed where Nike, New Balance, Puma, they're going to the athletic side now. They're not going to the they're still on the luxury side of the house, but athleticism, being athletic, athleticism, runners, this is what's really is popular right now when we think about it. That's really where the trend is really going to. Um, and so I love the competition aspect about it. And hey, man, like I think this is a good shakeup for all brands to tighten up, do a better job, come up with some new silhouettes, new designs, better materials, but they have to figure out how to do a better price point at the end of the day. Because a lot of people are going to get turned off. And with all this heat in 2025, man, it's going to be like mayhem. People will be selective even though all this heat is coming out because again a lot of people have been asking for certain silhouettes and then when these silhouettes they've been asking for years drop they struggle on release day.
That is hard facts. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm driving right now, so I'm kind of curious. Like, even with the chat, who's going for these Legend Blues today? Like, I have a prediction of these things are going to sit, kind of like what you said. Uh, when we got Black Cement 3 sitting, when we got Fear 4 sitting, when we got even sneakers before that sitting, I truly think that Nike brand is really trying to pull a rabbit out the hat by digging into that vault, like what we mentioned before, in order to get their sales up. And I don't know if these new age sneakerheads really give a damn about an off-white Jordan 4. We do, but I honestly don't really know if these newer sneaker resellers do, right? We do, but I don't really know if like these newer cats really care about that. I, I'm curious to really know that. You know what I mean? If they care about an off-white Jordan 4 or you take a look at what's happened with Almaz. Now, granted, we can talk about the price point, like what Jay is saying, but take a look. You know, when we have Almaz sitting like that below retail, I don't know, man. I'm not saying Nike's going bankrupt. I'm not, but I am going to admit I believe the brand is struggling. There's no doubt about it. The brand is struggling.
I think one thing we have to take into account is we perceive it as struggling due to the niche market that we subscribe to. And the niche market is, you know, a lot of these Jordan retros. Now, granted, you know, Nike themselves sometimes will put out like some dunks that people like or don't like, you know. But a lot of this stuff comes in waves. And right now, there's a wave of people that, for whatever reason, are into the dad shoe. I'm going to just flat out say it. It's the dad shoe trend right now. And here's the thing, and shout out to Tyler. No New Balance or Asics will ever look as good as Jordan brand sneakers. And that's hard facts. Like, the shoes, in a lot of sense, that people are going after, the characteristics of them look pretty much the same. You know? Facts, Jimmy. Vomeros are, they're movers right now. And granted, are people looking for comfort in their shoes? They talk about that. There's a segment of people that talk about wanting that comfort and all. But to be honest with you, when you really look at the landscape of what's going on with sneakers, there's a lot of people out here who don't necessarily look to maintain their own sense of style. They like to follow the trends. You know, we've talked about it many times where there's people out here that don't necessarily like sneakers. They like the clout that sneakers gives them. You know? And when you look at the shoes that are being bought from New Balance, from Asics, from Saucony, you're not necessarily hearing about the general shoes that they release. It's usually some type of collab sneaker that they're trying to get. And granted, you know, let's give these companies credit. They will put a lot of effort and great materials into those collabs. They will. They'll give you a lot for them. Like, look at the Marvel pack from Asics. It's a great pack. Great pack. The aesthetics of it all. Wonderful the way they did it. From the boxes, the sneakers themselves, the comic books involved with the shoe. Hands down, it's one of the great packs that we got this year. It is. But when we think about, you know, packs of old, what really compares to some of those DMP packs that Jordan Brand put out? Especially with those special boxes that came. You know, the double sneaker boxes that we got for those DMP packs. I'd be hard pressed to think of anything that compares to it. And where are these brands going? I don't know. Can they survive without collabs like that? I don't know. But what we're really seeing, in my opinion, with everything right now is just a correction for where we are after COVID. And let's not forget this either, right? When we think about COVID, Asics wasn't jumping off. Saucony wasn't jumping off. You could say Yeezys was in there. Give it respect in that aspect. But these other brands weren't necessarily jumping off. What really happened was the rush to try to get a Nike and Jordan brand became exceptionally difficult for a lot of people because all we had to rely on was the internet in a lot of places. You couldn't go out to the stores. You couldn't put the footwork in to go ahead and pick up, your shoes. You had to rely on the internet, and that was the influx of botting. That's where the influx of botting came from. And again, I have this graphic up here about stock numbers for next year, what we could possibly be seeing come 25, 26, which a lot of us wonder, what are we going to see in 2025 and 2026 due to everything they're talking about coming with this year? Could some of these shoes get pushed back? Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of them can get pushed back. We saw it happen this year. It happens every year. And I don't think it's going to be any different in 2025.
Hey, yo, Lewis, I think you raised actually a very good point, and I want to touch on that kind of from a business aspect.
Yep.
Because from COVID, right, on how difficult it was, to cop these shoes. I believe Nike have lost some like market share, right? I guess whenever you look at like the total adjustable market, I believe that they've lost. Sorry, the sun is like in my eyes. I believe that they lost some market share, and post COVID, people that have stepped away from the brand didn't come back. I don't know what the numbers and percentages are, but it'll be one thing if it was like, all right, during COVID, A, B, and C happened, but right after COVID, everybody flocked back to the brand, and that's where I think the change is. That market share isn't the same as it was before, So I understand the availability of sneakers and things change, but I believe customers, like legit customers, stepped away to other brands. That don't mean that it's us, but other people have stepped away, and happy too. That's the other part. Like my daughter went from wanting like Jordan 4s and stuff to, I mean, she's rocking Vans. No diss to Vans, but like you said, that's the trend. She's like, "Hey, Dad, can I get these? What do they call new school Vans?" And I'm like, "Sure, it's cheaper than Jordans. I'll buy you 3-5 pairs of them, any color you want." But you're right. I mean, there's been a shift. There's definitely been a shift in the atmosphere, and I'm wondering if new CEO in 2025, and if that can actually shift it back, bring back that market share to Nike.
And bro, too,
ahead,
it's quality. It's quality. Because in the comment section, I can't remember who said it, and they said, "Hey, I picked up my pair from Shoe Palace. Quality wasn't impressed," or something like that. I seen that earlier today. And if you guys watch my video, I literally gave you guys a 2024 and the 2014 comparison on the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blues. This is my third favorite colorway of all time when it comes to the 11. And for the price point, I don't think the quality matches the price point. right? And so it's all about perspective as well. I mean, it's a beautiful looking shoe. I'm not saying it's like trash. I gave it a 7 out of 10. The colorway is
I
fire.
think you did 7.5, Jay. I think.
Okay, 7.5. Thank you out of 10. And for me, again, if you're going to give us a certain type of sneaker, then drop the price point, because now you're letting your customers know, hey, here you go, right? Opposed to saying, well, we're gonna raise it up, but we're not gonna give you, what you deserve. And so again, this is why other people are looking at other brands, because you just mentioned something, Mr. Think. You said, hey, your daughter like Vans. And don't think that Vans do not have a collab. And those collabs sell out like stupendously quick with the Van collab. It depends upon your market and what you're looking for. You know what I mean? And again, styles change over time. Do I think Nike is the juggernaut? Will they still be around? Absolutely. But they have to figure out a way, again, how can we give solid quality, but we have to do a better job when it comes to pricing. And a lot of people disagree with me. I love the moment right now we can walk in and snag sneakers. I love it. But the difference is that what comes to play is how everything settled. And what I mean by settle, how will everything settle out when Nike can figure out, okay, we have to slow down this price increase. How can we do that? I have a great solution for you, Nike. You just need to hire me. I have a wonderful solution for you, Nike. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I got a lot going on.
We get to some of these comments here.
Sorry. Okay, fellas.
Let's see here. We have Black 18.5 Jordans were the best Jays ever made. Prove me wrong. I mean, no reply. That's definitely your own perspective on there. Yeah. I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But let's see. If Fat goes, just picked mine up 8 a.m. for 160. I smartly passed on the shock drop because I wanted to look at the Moonhead first, as well as I built $70 in rewards. They invited some VIPs in at 8 a.m. Okay. Shout out to you on that. Jason, New Balance trainer that is the OG Paw Paw shoe is garbage leather. Okay. Picking up a second pair of DTLR for $25 under retail, so 160 and 205 double up is unbeatable. Congratulations on that. Is Adidas going to bring back the OG Kobe line? Well, they've already dropped the Crazy Eights, and they dropped I forgot what's that spaceship looking shoe from Adidas. I forget what that one was called. They brought that one up too. Let's see here. Tyler goes, there's no proving you wrong on something that's subjective. I personally think the 18.5s are junk and don't think so, and that's okay. Let's see here. Is Adidas going to bring back the OG concentration camp line? Yeah, we know all about Adidas and what they were doing. Obviously, German company started a long time ago. There's been a lot of talk out there about what their involvement was with that concerning the Jews back then. Yeah, that's if people didn't know, now they know, and you can go ahead and look up that information for yourself as far as Adidas founder and what all he was involved with back then. Let's see here. Just picked up mine. Jimmy goes, just picked up mine from Shoe Palace. Not impressed.
Okay. And that's what I was. That's what I read. You know what I mean? That's
but again, but see, here's the thing. Okay. I'd love to know what he's not impressed with. Now, Jay, you believe that the pair you picked up in particular doesn't match your old pair from 2014. Now, to me, even that right there, that opinion is subjective. Okay, because one thing you pointed out was the stiffness, pause, in the patent leather. Now, one thing that needs to be pointed out is over time, patent leather becomes hard and brittle. And a softer patent leather is actually more comfortable, especially when it comes to on feet. For example, my patent leather breads, those things are stiff as a board to try to walk around in. Stiff. Pause. Okay? Stiff.
So,
all right? It's almost as if, and mind you, patent leather is a substance they put on it, which is plastic based. Okay? It's plastic based. It's almost as if you have to warm the shoe in some kind of way, warm the materials to make them more malleable so they're a little more comfortable on feet.
so I don't disagree with the stiffness part. And pause. I'm talking about in terms of the quality of the thickness. Pause. I don't disagree with that. You know what I mean? Even the leather on the 2014, and people were upset about the 2014 leather, saying the leather was just like not up to par. The leather on the 2014 pair is better than the 2024 pair. So what you're saying, I don't dispute. I'm saying in terms of when it comes to the thickness of the quality of something, you can definitely feel a difference in the quality. And for that, $230 price tag, we expect $230 quality. If I pay $170 for a sneaker, I expect $170 worth of quality.
So do you have last year's 11s?
I got rid of them.
Okay.
I grabbed them, touched them, and I was like, got rid of them very quickly. And I love 11s.
Okay. So I will grant you last year's 11s, for whatever reason, they used a very thin layer on that patent leather. And in comparison, I can't say that these are like that. Now, mind you, part of that process is how many layers did they actually even put on there for them. Okay, so when we talk about patent leather and how it's made and how they do it, it's layered on material. Now, the more layers you put on there, the stiffer it actually is. So I would challenge you in this aspect, Jay. That's your single pair. But unless you plan on comparing it to other pairs that end up getting released from, albeit different factories, as we saw, like my pair came from a different factory than yours, and we've seen this situation happen when you look at like the Black Cement 3s. For whatever reason, when it came to the shock drop pairs, the pairs that came from Vietnam had better quality than the pairs that came from China. Don't know why. Don't know what they did. or what it was, what they were doing. But that's what it seemed like with the shock drop pairs. Now, mind you, release happened, and you haven't really heard too much more about the elephant print issues. You have not. Do some people have them? Yes, they did. A lot of people question why they even used that lighter elephant print on a lot of the threes, and I have to admit they purposely did that.
Facts.
They purposely used that because, for example, all right, some of you all know I'm a Jordan Spizike fan. They use elephant print on the Spizikes. And I have to say that it's a lot of them have the darker elephant print that a lot of people love. But it's interesting because, like Jay said earlier, and he's right about this, people have asked for OGs, and Nike has given it to us. Look at the military blue force. And then what happened? They got released, and you had a huge segment of people that were upset with that shoe because the blue wasn't like the 2012 pair. And in Nike's defense, they were like, wait a minute, you said you wanted the originals, the original OGs. Look at how the blue is on the original OGs. It's a much darker blue.
Hey, where your kicks?
What's up?
Can I chime in with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the question is, well, who's to blame? And here's why I'm saying who's to blame. Because you have, everything's a learning curve for everybody. When people say they want OGs, they really don't know what an OG really is, what it looked like, the shape of it. They're going off of, okay, we got a retro OG and we don't have an OG. So yeah, of course, people are like, man, the color was off, right? The shape was just weird. Hey, the elephant print is too light. Even though Nike gave us as close as that OG for that 2024 black cement pair, people still don't know that they did as close as they could to, that particular pair, the OG pair. They did their best, but Nike would never give us the exact color, exact anything, because they want to separate the differences between each iteration of the sneaker. And so the question is, who's at fault? And, I have to somewhat blame Nike, because people ask for an OG, but they really don't know the OG like us who grew up during that era, who had that sneaker here, who knew the color. And so Nike, again, it's about storytelling. You just cannot drop an OG, and I'm not going to call it an OG. I'm going to call it a retro OG, not a retro. Give a history lesson. So it's all about the storytelling. It's about giving the information, which I think consumers would appreciate a lot more. And Nike would do a better job in terms of their sales. But I'm not going to keep giving Nike, info, because they're missing it. And they're missing because probably the employees who are creating the shoe don't even have the knowledge of what the real OG was. What did it look like? The history. They can research it, but they're missing those key elements, right? When it comes to it, whether it's on the sneaker, it's on the box, it's on the paper, hidden gems. Nike, stop playing with me.
Let's see here. Jason Catoni says, hopefully Nike is smart and starts shipping those shoes before new tariffs can be put in place. Kurt, Nike going cheap and quality is crazy low. Most of the NBA is wearing Kobe's. Vietnam made over Indonesia any day. Jason Crowder goes, Mr. Think, Van and Chucks are on more kids' feet than any other sneaker out there. Hey, listen, if I'm a parent, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to put those on my kids' feet too, because I know what they're going to do to them damn shoes. They're going to mess them up. I'd rather use other language, but that's they're going to mess them up. So why pay? And mind you, if you remember now, some of the sizes that were deemed toddler got moved up into being youth sizes. And we know the youth size for a lot of Jordan sneakers range around 150, 160. So why, pay 160 for some shoes that you know your kid's going to get out there and jack them things up?
And this is why when we were kids, we had our school shoes, right? At least I did. I'm not speaking to everybody. I had my school shoes and I had my play shoes.
Yep.
I came home, I did homework. My mom would be like, hey, well, first of all, you're not walking inside of my crib with your shoes on. First of all, take them things off, put your shoes right back in your closet, in your box, take your butt outside after school, take off your school clothes, put on your play clothes, and go hit it. Times have changed. Parenting has changed. The economy has changed where parents have to work more. So, yes, bro, you are 100% right. You hit it. Nail in the coffin. I'm not going to let my son go outside in some $200 sneakers and next month he's going to go out of them. So that's all facts. Okay? I love what we're talking about today. Man, this is just like, man, this got my shoestrings, you know what I'm saying, ready to tie up. You understand what I'm saying? Pause.
Yo.
And I definitely want to say to everybody, man, we appreciate y'all. Listen, man, double tap that screen, like, share, subscribe. We got 7 minutes to this release. Listen, we doing it. We getting involved. We're in the mud. We in the trenches. This is the end of the year. We are with it. I'm excited if y'all can hear it in my voice today, baby.
So, real quick, concerning the Jordan 11s, for anybody going for them today on the Sneakers app, I'm looking at a total, mind you, it's allegedly, a total of 62,000 pairs. Let me go over these stock numbers real quick as we are 7 minutes away from the top of the hour. We appreciate everybody being tapped in. So size 7, we have 1,494. Size 7.5, 1,493. Size 8, 3,724. Size 8.5, 4,235. Size 9, 5,832. Size 9.5, 6,308. Size 10, 7,601. Size 10.5, 7,827. Size 11, 7,185. Size 11.5, 3,695. Size 12, 5,885. Size 12.5, 1,030. Size 13, 4,066. Size 14, 1,194. Size 15, 442. Size 16, 125. 17, 44 pairs, and size 18, 38 pairs, for a total number of 62,218 pairs, allegedly, today on the Sneakers app. Tyler says, you can't lower the price point because that looks as though you're starting to make a lesser quality sneaker. If anything, you have to up the quality. So, a lot of people talk about the quality of these shoes, right, for the price point. And to be honest with you, here's the thing about it. If you recall, we had a release of the Jordan Wings. They were I believe 2 high tops and 2 low tops. Okay. The leather quality from them, 100% genuine Italian leather on the shoe. What was the price point of those shoes
I can't
for
recall.
retail? Oh, I recall.
I can't recall.
Over $900 retail. Now, one thing we have to take into account is, are those shoes really worth that? For whatever reason, you know, people hear Italian leather and they think it's top quality, it's all these kind of things, but just remember, look what happened with Dior. Due to a court case that they're in, it was discovered that it only cost Dior, on average, $57, 57 USD, pause, to make those purses that on average they sell for $2,500. And something else that needs to be said out here when it comes to manufacturing items, there's only a certain percentage of assembly that needs to happen in a particular place in order for you to put on there that it's made from that particular country. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that number is 51%. 51%. That means the other 49 can be done in your Chinas, your Vietnams, your Indonesias, your Taiwans, you know, all these other places, so long as that percentage is fulfilled in that particular country, that's how they can say it's made in Italy.
So where you kicks? So I'm not jumping off topic, but I'm staying on the same topic. So if you look at, like, when you buy olive oil, right? And they say, hey, this is, cooking oil and it's olive oil. Well, guess what? They sell you stuff that says it's 20% olive oil and 80% seed oil, sunflower seed oil.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is absolutely correct, bro. And whatever it may be is subjective. Now, with the Dior situation, we can also put that right back onto all sneaker brands. On average, it can cost them between maybe, I don't know, $7, maybe $8 if they want to go with a top tier quality, right, leather, and they charge us $300. So that percentage rate is somewhere around the same ballpark with the Dior's, right? They giving you better quality, supposedly for $57, selling for $2,500. Nike spending $7 and maybe $8, depending upon the quality of the material. They selling you a sneaker for you'll be lucky for $200, maybe up to $225. So, those percentages are somewhat in the same ballpark, and you're right. And I feel like when you have too many hands in a pot, right, that's also causing price points to rise. Because if I'm making something over, I don't know, in Atlanta, but then I'm gonna transport it from Atlanta all the way down here to Florida to finish making it. Come on, man, quit playing with me, man. That's why I love New Balance at the same time as well, because New Balance will tell you where it was made at, whether it's in the USA or it's made over somewhere else. And this is also, like, even though the prices have risen, I do not discredit that at all. When you got too many hands in the pot logistically and you moving stuff around, you got to pay transportation costs. Stop playing it, man. Get it to one spot. Let's get it cracking. Sell the product. Get it quality. Give us what we want. It's 10 o'clock, fam. Go ahead and drop that. Go ahead and put your raffle in for this pair if you're doing it, fam. Let us know in the chat. We definitely want to congratulate you on your W today. But let's stop putting too many hands in the pot. This is why you do have factory issues. It's made over here. It's made over there. And well, one pair seems a little bit less stiffer than the other. The quality ain't the same. Stop it. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. And I stand on it. Agree, disagree. if this factory's gonna make this shoe, this is the shoe that's gonna be made from. We're not gonna change the LN numbers, LN 405 to LN 408. Leave it where it belongs.
Here's something though that we have to talk about. There's no way. Okay, let's call out the elephant in the room. Okay, these sneakers are made by hand. Okay, they're made by hand. Nike does not have, like, when you see those videos floating around of the rep factories and how they're making sneakers, do not be fooled in thinking that Nike does something any different from the factories that they contract to build these shoes, that they're making them some other kind of way. Because they're not. They're not. And if they were using robots and machines and stuff like that, you wouldn't see any of these mistakes. These are handmade items, stitched together, glued together. Okay? Even when you look at cars that come off the assembly line, there are some cars, for whatever reason, they're all being made the same way, but when you buy it brand new and you have a bunch of problems with it, what's the law out there to protect the consumer? A lemon law. Now, they don't have that, obviously, with sneakers. Now, can you run into issues when you get the shoe shipped to you versus you get to go into the store and pick it up yourselves? You do. You do. It can be a crapshoot when you have the shoe shipped to you versus you go to the store and pick it up yourself and get to look at it compared to the left shoe to the right shoe and make sure that they're a match pair. But Jason says Nike flooding the market. It's not the answer. We used to have that special feel when we got the shoe no one has in their rotation.
Facts.
See?
And I talked about this before. Stop flooding. We know why Nike flooded the market. Nike flooded the market. Why?
Because people, I'm going to tell you what. No. Because people complained during COVID that they could not get their hands on shoes. And so what did Nike do in order to help the consumers out? They upped the stock numbers in order for people to stop complaining. That is 1,000% what they did. And now people complain that they're making too many shoes. So when Nike starts to cut down the stock numbers, and you all out here start crying again because you can't get your hands on sneakers, and you want to, have this crazy feeling of, oh, I was able to pick up this limited GR. Like, come on. Let's be honest here.
But wear your kicks. Don't forget.
No. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here, okay?
Don't forget.
We talking about, we listen. The collabs is one thing, and they've always made the collabs pretty limited. But, people cried, and that's why they went to these other brands, was because during COVID, people could not get their hands on these damn shoes. We saw how, look what happened with the Lost and Founds. The app froze.
Yes.
Because so many people went after that shoe.
But where you
people to this day,
you have to give
could
Nike
not get that shoe at retail.
That is definitely part of it. But also you have to remember, you have to give Nike their credit. They have done a lot better as well with the bot protection. So not only have they tried to assist, I think so. I think Nike has done a better job with bot protection.
What's happened is the market has changed, and these botters ain't going after a lot of these GRs anymore. It's not about bot protection. It's about the
Some
fact
of it.
that the GRs are not commanding, bro. All right,
I don't disagree with that. I
let's
don't, but I still feel like the
remember.
bot protection has gotten better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but yes, I agree with you. Yes, Nike flooded the market because people complaining, but also it was also to slow down with the resellers
Let me
because
let me ask you. Let me ask you a
Nike
question,
was the
Jay.
forefront.
Let me
Listen,
ask
Nike
you a
were the
question, Jay.
forerunners.
Let me ask
They
you a
were the
question.
forerunners who were sending
Let me ask you a question.
YouTubers shoes early to hype them up to
They
get
don't.
people
They
to
don't
sell
send
them.
a lot of them early. They don't. Let me
They
ask you a
have.
question.
In
Let
the
me ask you a
past, they
question.
have.
If it was not for COVID, would a Panda Dunk had ever resold for $400?
I don't disagree, but guess what? Those Panthers
No,
limited
they
when
were
they
not.
first dropped.
Nah, absolutely not. The Panda Dunk wouldn't have
The
done that.
Panda
I'm not
Dunk would have
saying I
never
don't
been
disagree. I
a
don't disagree with
$400
that.
shoe because of COVID.
I don't
Because of
disagree with that.
COVID and that documentary that they put out. If they put that documentary out there today, I'm telling you right now, if we never got that documentary during COVID and they put it out there today, it would not have the effect because you would not have the same amount of eyeballs watching it.
I don't disagree, but I think they all come together. It's not just because of this one thing. I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is there's other factors as well. So what you're saying, yes, but that is not the all in all of the whole entire reason. Yes, COVID, absolutely, without a doubt. When we went ahead and did the Jordan joint, yes, dropped it at the right time. It heightened everything. Yes, I do not disagree with that. The Pandas, listen, yes, people went out for them because that was the height of the time and that was the height of the dunks. Where it's like, boom. I don't disagree because the styles were changing because people were going for the dunks. I don't disagree. But at the end of the day, yes, Nike was sending top YouTubers hyping up a sneaker for them to help them push their product. Nike was doing that. Now they're not doing it nearly as much. Absolutely, they were. And now that Nike said, "Oh, resellers, y'all making 100K plus off selling my shit. Oh, we gonna flood the market." I don't think it was more so because of the complaining. It was because they saw what people were doing, quitting their jobs selling sneakers. I think secondly behind that is because people were complaining about, oh, we can never get a pair. People were complaining so much we can't get a pair. They still was going for them pairs every week. So it's not just one situation. It is a whole entire debacle of things together. Whether you want to say this is 80-20, I don't disagree with that. But they're all coming together. Un moment. Okay, sorry about that, fam.
Listen,
I got a lot going on.
look,
So I don't disagree with you, bro. Like, we here together doing this. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, we have to like look at it as a whole, as a total. I mean, we just have to look at it as a total. You know, everybody want to blame resellers, but it's kind of like you just can't blame resellers, bro. You gotta blame the company
well,
because
I never blamed resellers. What I blame is the factors of the time. And Mr. Think knows this because the factors of the time can affect the market, right? The factors of the time can affect the market. Like right now, when we look at the way the market is, and I'm not even talking about sneaker market, I'm talking about in the financial world. The markets have changed due to many factors going on right now. Advancements in technology. If you recall, Bitcoin was the enemy for a good minute. Bitcoin was the enemy. Bitcoin will never do anything. Now look at it. Bitcoin's up there, six figures. There's people right now losing themselves because they had XYZ amount of Bitcoin and they lost it. Countless stories of people losing their Bitcoin wallets and can't find it anymore. Or you have people out there that use Bitcoin to do things like buy a pizza with it. The financial gurus out there said, what about Bitcoin? Oh, it's a fad. It's not going to stay around. This, that, and the, all types of stuff. With the digital world we live in now, all those cryptocurrencies and stuff, they're going to become a larger factor moving forward. Paper money is basically going away. At some point, you'd be hard pressed to actually have paper money. So, while granted, there were a multitude of factors, there was no bigger factor than COVID itself and the fact that people could not put in any footwork to go out and cop these shoes. We said it with the military Blue 4s, with the Bred 4 Reimagines. There were people out there saying that they couldn't get their hands on a pair. Now, between Mr. Think, UJ, myself, Perp, and a bunch of people that were in this chat, we were all able to touch not one pair, not two, but multiple pairs. Because why? We were able to put in footwork. We were able to get out there and actually go to the stores as well as pick up online. But if it was during COVID, it'd be hard pressed to say whether or not we were actually going to be able to touch a pair. Hard pressed to say whether or not we'd be able to touch a pair. And mind you, I have like the Soul Retriever app, and they drop links in there when shoes restock in certain places. But if the bots are running, I'm not faster than a bot. That app ain't faster than a bot. Look what happened during GOAT Black Friday. People started seeing that, oh, there was some W's happen, right? Some of those more hype shoes started getting released. The shoe would open up, sold out. Sold out. Why? Bots. To the point where what was happening then? People started getting frustrated with the GOAT app. And so then you had less and less people starting to try to go for certain things just because they're like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Why is the app opening? Why is the shoe open up sold out? What's GOAT going to do? Nothing. GOAT did nothing. Their bot protection was supposed to be going around and tapping on that sneaker.
They didn't have no bot protection at all. I promise you, it was no protection at all.
Because I don't know how the bots
hardwired.
I don't know how the bots got through and were able to make the selection of the shoe to get through there to check out, but they were.
Remember, some of the sneakers sold out before the drop even opened up.
That's exactly what I said.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's exactly what I said.
There was no protection at all. It was like, hello, good luck, hello.
Shout out to your average sneaker guy. What's up, fam? What's going on with you?
Come on, y'all. Double tap that screen, man. We having some great discussion today. Double tap that screen, man. We appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Like, share, subscribe.
The average sneaker guy says, let's see here. These young kids are screaming, we want OG, and they really don't know what the OG was. Average sneaker guy goes, I'm 50-50 with that because the consumer can also do their own research as well. You know what? They can. But a lot of them don't. They rely on what they hear a lot of times. And which is why I feel as though it's super important, like even for us on our platforms, that we put out the whole story. Not the part that we agree with. Not just that part, but even the parts we don't agree with. that all that information needs to be put out there, and it needs to be in part of the discussion, because the whole truth is needed for people to operate off of. No Hype 85, what's good with you, bro? Says these 11s have been sitting on Shoe Palace all night, so they definitely not selling out. So Shoe Palace released them early on their website. So I know, here's what I saw last night. I believe it was not SNS. There's another overseas one that released the shoe. Sizes 10.5 and lower. We're sitting there. 11 and up, completely gone. Completely gone. Let's see what other comments we got here. Let's see. All Jordan has to do is limit the future releases and watch the demand rise. Facts, OG. The demand will rise, and then people will go back to crying once again. Why can't Jordan Brand make more shoes? Make more shoes for us. We want to be able to cop too. Make more, make more.
And that's why I said make 2025 more limited. It'll bring back the luster. Not like it has to be a balance though. But I've been saying that.
But see, to me, if the luster of the shoe is there just because it's limited, then that means you don't actually like the shoe.
Wear your kicks. I agree with you. I do not discredit that. But let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. The up and coming sneakerheads are not the same as we were. But when we were kids, people got Jordans because why? Because of not only of the style of his gameplay, you know, I want to be like Mike, right, Paul? But also because everybody couldn't have it at the same time. Now it seems like if you don't have a limited of, I'm just making up a number, 1,500 pairs, and like, you know, it's trash. So, you know, we got to call it what it is. You know, it's all encompassing together. But I do feel like they have to slow down in terms of all the releases, all the drops, get a better price point, stop giving 1.6 million pairs in the U.S., slow it down a little bit, and you will see a change. But you have to as well give the history. And yes, your average, I agree with you, bro. Consumers can do their own research, but let's be honest, the younger generation, they're not really researching that. If you give it to them, it'll make more sense, and then they'll go out and they will start researching more. But you have to give them something. I love this topic, man. We all are doing a great job today, chat. Without y'all, this is not possible, man. Listen, I appreciate every single one of y'all rocking with us today. This is what I'm talking about.
Here's the other thing. Shout out to G-Fish. What's good, bro? Somebody say, no, they put it up because of bots. Stores didn't have bot protection. Yeah. A lot of these places don't have bot protection. That's facts. But let's also call out another factor that I know a lot of people don't want to talk about. But let's keep it real. These kids coming up today have no qualms about buying fake sneakers. None. And the platform, if you want to blame anything, is TikTok. You can go on TikTok right now and you will see a plethora of these young people out here sporting their fake sneakers. And make no mistake about it, these ain't these SpongeBob Dub Zero fakes, as a lot of people want to point to. These things look indistinguishable on feet. unless, listen, these things look so good unless you know for a fact you have a retail pair in your hand to compare them to. You'd be hard pressed to be able to tell the difference, because I know I can't. When I look at them, I can't. Without an actual retail pair being right next to it, I can't. Because to you guys' point, right? And to my point as well, the fact that these shoes are handmade and they're coming from different factories, different things end up happening. That's why Mr. Thinks green glows on the lateral side can have different tumbledness than the medial side. If you all recall his green glow video where he showed that. And this was on one of the shoes. We're not even talking about distinguishing the pairs. We're looking at one shoe, and the outside of the shoe's leather is different from the leather they use on the inside of the shoe. Now, to the untrained person, they'd look at that and go, "Oh, what's wrong with your shoe?" If they even look at it like that. If they even look at it like that. But a lot of times, this is why even with retail pairs, you can't compare your retail pair to someone else's, because not even the retail pairs are one-to-one. Show me all the size 12s that they make out there in this Columbia, in this Legend Blue, or whatever you want to call it. Show me all the size 12, every one of the size 12s that's supposed to be allocated for retail. And I'm telling you right now, they ain't all going to be one-to-one. They're not. And so from that, right, the fakes, 150, 160, and they're indistinguishable on feet, versus the 11s, 230. And mind you, these prices in 2025, they're going up for Kobe's. Prices are going up on the Jordan 4. They're releasing a bread high 85 next year for 250. Usually, the 85 highs are only 200. You mean to tell me because now you're going to dye the leather red and black, you charge us an extra 50 on there? These sneakers are going up regardless. Okay? Going up regardless of any factors out there. And mind you, the 85 highs, believe it or not, the 85 highs are what your high quality leather is, and that leather is stiff as all hell. Stiff. You got to wear them around to break them in. With most of your Jordans that we get with leather, is thin leather. And the tumbling is artificial. Artificial tumbling.
Correct. Facts.
So, you know, when we talk about shoes like the shattered backboards and the great leather on there, it's artificial.
You know what?
It's artificial what they did to that shoe.
Let me say this, right? I don't disagree with you. And I know you said you can definitely grab some other sneakers that will absolutely give the shattered backboards a run for its money, if not better, right? So
Yep.
we can tell when you have, whether it's artificial, or whether you have crappy leather, good leather, and it's, you know, you have that Bumpy Johnson going on with it. We can tell if it's good quality leather or trash leather. We can tell, right? And to your point, yes, a lot of people have to understand something. You know,
sometimes the trickery is, because this leather is so thin, it's gonna make it seem like it's more luxurious or better quality leather than this thicker leather.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a marketing psychology that goes behind all of this, and this is just not Nike. This is all sneaker brands. This is all clothing brands, fashion brands, right? Because it has Prada's name on it. They had the same factory as J Elevate sunglasses. Okay, no different. But because it got that name attached to it, everybody's gonna go crazy for it. So you have to understand what is good quality, what's decent quality. Understand that. And that's something we have to really sit down and we should talk about, because at the end of the day, you don't let the trickery fool you. And it doesn't mean that thin quality leather is not great leather. But you have to know what you're looking for. You have to also know the purpose of the sneaker. You have to know the purpose of the sneaker as well. That's the major difference.
Yeah. That's true. It's very true. Shout out to Jeffrey Flight, easy dub on the 11s. Congrats, bro.
Congrats,
I'm looking
Jeffrey.
at the Nike app.
Congrats, fam.
They're
Proud
moving.
of you, bro.
They're moving.
Yeah, a sneakers app. Yeah, they seem to be moving. The bigger sizes are toast. They're already cooked.
Bigger sizes are cooked.
Yeah.
Figured that. So Road Mr. T says, I'm going to save my money until December 18th. Let's go. What's dropping December 18th? I know next week we got the next Saturday we got those Travis Scotts dropping. December 18th. What's December 18th?
The 12s. The Game Royal 12s.
Okay. Okay.
Like those blueberries, huh?
Blueberry, yeah.
Speaking of which, someone mentioned in here the Wizard of Oz SB Dunks, asking if anybody was going to be going for those.
Oh, that's on the
Mark
23rd.
Davis says, I got 10 pairs. It's going to be a good Christmas profit. I believe he's talking about the Wizard of Oz Dunks from ND82. And look, I'm an SB fan, but here's my issue with the Wizard of Oz Dunks. Unfortunately, they showed me mock-ups of the Ruby Red Slipper SB Dunks. And then what they came out with was these poppy field joints. And I said, nah. For me, no. Even though it's got like, you know, the wear away leather on there, it shows another material under it. Me personally, no. Well, shout out to anybody going for that pair like that. You know?
I like those Wizards of Oz, man. I like
you
them.
like them?
Oh, bro. I like them.
Yeah, they're not, listen, I'm not saying they're terrible. But for me, the problem is they showed me those ruby red slippers that they were going to do for the SB Dunks at first. And then for whatever reason, they decided to change it. So, yeah, not only do we have the white and Game Royal 12s. Let's see here. I don't know what those are. Party 6000s. I don't know. I mean, look, for the rest of the year, we have the Wizard of Oz Dunks. We got a Travis Scott's dropping. I mean, you know, after them Travis Scotts and these SBs, I mean, that's as far as what people are going for. It's probably it. you know, and then we're right into, as far as what I see on the sneakers app, the next drop is going to be January 10th. And I don't even know what the hell this shoe is. What's crazy though is the amount of people that will pay over retail to get a shoe early. People are paying $280. They paid $280, almost $300 to get these Legend Blues early. They're paying $280, $300 to get Black Cat 3s early. They're paying $350, and so to get reimagined Black Metallic 5s early. And that's another thing Nike's looking at. Now, the other factor is I'm sure Nike's looking at it as, or maybe they know, maybe Nike knows how these guys are getting their early pairs to go ahead and sell out there early. Maybe they do know. But it's crazy that people are willing to pay $50, $60, $80 to $100 over retail to get a shoe early that is going to be readily available come release day. And that's another thing messing up the market when you think about it. So if people are going to pay that much money to get a shoe early, why would Nike look at that and not raise prices? It's like they're willing to pay, look how much early, just to get it a few weeks before release. There's so many things involved that you think Nike may not be looking at, that they actually are looking at when it comes to how they're pricing sneakers. They have more data than you could even fathom that they're looking at, that factor into everything. They know where certain they know where certain silhouettes sell better than others. They have that data. They know where certain colors sell better than others. They have that data. They have information as far as what certain sizes will sell in certain areas versus others. That's how they figure out logistically how they should allocate their stock based on the buying trends that happen out here. This is why some stores will get more of something than someone else, because all that data is out there. They watch how through the Nike app, and they're now connected. Think about it. They're connected now through Dick's Sporting Goods. You're connected now through Hibbett's. You're connected now through, there's a third one out there, JD Sport Finish Line. Think about it. You've connected your app now to the Nike app. They've got data on you as a consumer, as an individual consumer, through your app, through the buying of your app. What you buy, what you return, what you look for, what your search history is. All that information they collect. And they compile us all into different categories and stuff. Perp. Am I correct on this?
I think I'm a little confused here because I thought this was a sneaker podcast. And you guys are damn cooking, so y'all should be some damn chefs this morning. No, everything is facts. I mean, algorithms and trends controls consumer spend. We all know that, right? But it's also a symbiotic relationship as well. So, I mean, everything you all have said so far has been on point.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, that's how I mean, listen, we all know now our phones, our devices are listening to us. You go to say something, and next thing you know, you're getting inundated with advertisements for something you talked about. And you might have said it in passing. Next thing you know, you're seeing ads pop up on your phone. These companies out here can collect all this data. That's how they know come next year when they go to drop this stuff, you know, they're going to
Every
make it seem
software
limited.
update is a hook into you and tracking your spend. And you know this all too well, where your kicks. It's a different API they spin up every software update.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps them track you and your spend and your trends that much more accurately.
Correct.
My prediction is by the end of 2028, you won't even need to speak anything. It'll actually be able to read your biorhythm from the palm of your hand as you hold your phone and tap into your thought patterns as well that way. They're working on the technology now. They've been doing it for the last 7 years. And I think it's finally going to come to fruition in 2028. So there we got more. There's another hook into you right there. So
I mean, listen, listen, your devices can listen to you sleep and provide you information on your sleep patterns. So, yeah, best believe at some point it's probably going to be there. Best believe. Ken Norton, what's good, bro? What's good? Oh, they're terrible. Yeah. Yeah, the Wizard of Oz SBs thinks they're terrible. But look,
What up,
but
Ken?
we say all this stuff to say this. If they do go and move the way we believe they're going to next year, information is going to be key. Information is gold as far as drops are concerned, when things are going to be released and how they're going to release it. But besides that, it's going to be more important moving forward to where you actually have a community to work with for copping some of these shoes out here. You know, the four of us, sometimes we work together and trying to get stuff because it's not easy. It's not easy. These other guys that are plugged in, make no mistake, maybe they were getting sent pairs at some point, but a lot of them are paying to play. They pay to play. Like Wear Testers, he talks about it all the time. How he buys the shoes early from the secondary markets to be able to put that review out there before release day. But here's the thing with Wear Testers. The amount of views he gets, that shoe is paid for after that review gets dropped. So for him, it's just a write-off that he had to put that money out there. It's just a write-off. You know? Now, at some point, we all hope we can get to there. We all hope we can get there to where, hey, it becomes just a write-off. But not for nothing, man. It's fun chasing down these kicks with the rest of y'all, which is why we're super happy when we see these W's come through from people in the chat. And shout out to the chat for rocking with us once again.
Yo.
yes, sir.
You know? Episode 42. 42 weeks we've been doing this.
4-2.
42 weeks. And a calendar year has 52. So we 10 episodes away from a 1-year anniversary of this.
Damn, has it been that long? Wow.
Yeah, it's been that long.
Ooh,
It's
chat,
been that
yo.
long, and we've had some crazy lives. We have. And mind you, some of y'all that rock with us here on Saturday mornings, we actually started out Friday nights for a while.
So basically, we go together with the chat now. Y'all can't get rid of us at this point. You
Yeah.
know, we too deep in it with you to quit you, baby.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's it looking like right now, Mr. Think, on the 11s?
Let me take a peek. Let me share.
All I see is I see little kids is sold out. Baby and Cribs. Cribs
Oh, it's
is
done.
still there.
It's cooked. It's all cooked.
They're all sold.
Yep.
You think we get a restock on Nike?
Yep.
I don't think they restocked the 11s like that on Nike yet.
Yeah, why not? I wonder what the stores are looking like. I'm sure they're available. I'm sure.
Depending on the size.
Yeah.
See, and here's the other thing, right? When we talk about shoe sitting, when you really go to ask them, what sizes do you have sitting? It's rare they'll say anything above a size 11. Rare. You'll have some size 6s, some size 8s, some size 9s.
What's the last 11 we got? Was it the Gratitude?
Last year were the DMP Gratitudes.
Gratitude. And those sat too, right?
But again,
not for long.
Yeah.
Not in the big sizes.
They did.
But then they restock multiple times as well.
They did restock them. Yeah, they did. And that was one of the reasons why I was mentioning I think we'll get a restock on these. Because according to the numbers, Lewis, you said what, 60 or 66K? What was the number?
Yeah, it was about 62,000 pairs.
Now
that's just what they released today on the sneakers app. I don't know what the total amount.
What the total?
Was
right, because
worldwide.
Normally don't we get like 1 million pairs, like the cherry?
They do.
The cherry 11s, like we normally get
Cool
like
Grays
1 million.
was like that too.
Yeah, Cool Grays.
Cool Gray 11s was like that too. Now, what do you think that energy gonna be like next year for these Gammas?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Gammas, bro.
The energy next year for them Gammas is probably gonna be something serious. But
yeah, I'm looking forward to the Gammas. I want to ask Jay. I want to ask Jay about that. Hey, Jay, are you still there?
Nah,
Jay has
not.
left the chat.
I wanted to ask him because I remember Jay saying that this is like his third favorite. So I was curious to see what his top two were, because once I started thinking about those Gammas, I was like, it drops the Legend Blues down for me.
But real talk, I think those Gammas are going to.
Go ahead, Perp.
No, real quick, I'm just saying. I think. Remember when those when the Concords redropped back in what was it, 18?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the crazy energy that those brought out the woodwork? People knocking down doors like it's Black Friday, getting into fights, at standouts. It was crazy. I think the Gamma is going to give you 2 steps down below that type of energy next year.
Yeah, the Gammas are going to be serious work. But, Perp, to that point, right? That's why the internet now has become so big as far as copper sneakers are concerned. Pause. Is when you think about what that scene looked like, where people were getting trampled on through the mall trying to pick up that damn shoe. And now, you see these videos out here in New York City when people are trying to pick up shoes and they don't form a line. They're all trying to push through. People are fighting in line and stuff like that. There's a lot of people that don't want to deal with that nonsense.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, Jason asked, what size Mr. Think needed them SB4s? I am a size 12, brother. A size 12. I see y'all trying to show some love. Y'all know I ain't got my SB4s.
Yeah, listen, the chat's been talking about you trying to get a pair of SB4s.
Yeah,
now, granted, you're going to have 2 chances next year at the newer SB4s that come out.
Nah, I need them pine greens.
I hear you.
And Actually, Mr. Think, you'll have a third top today because this afternoon I'll be at a fest. So
Oh, you?
I'll see if they
Oh.
have them on your side.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I'll hit you.
Yeah. Let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, make sure you have that ringer on, Mr. Think.
Hey, yo, it's a good possibility. Your perk might have to call me a couple times. Like, no lie, I just got done working a 12-hour shift, and I'm on here, so I'm like fading quick. I'm
gonna hit the bat phone.
Yeah, you know what you should do? Set a different ringtone for your boy Perp, so that way you know it's his ass calling. Everyone else, do not disturb.
I hope his ass ain't calling, but that's cool.
Hey, make it the Baby Shark theme song.
Baby Shark.
Hey, but real talk, where your cakes. You actually made a point earlier that I think we all agree with. I think the paradigm shift from that time to now was absolutely unequivocally, without a doubt, the pandemic. The pandemic really reshaped how sneakers are bought, how resellers move and navigate in the markets. And it's really it's created a domino effect, a ripple effect that we're continuing to see even today. Clearly, we're going to see it well into 2025 as well. So to answer your question, yeah, there's definitely a huge shift. And I think it's going to continue to have that ripple effect for the next few years to come.
Yeah.
There's been a debate that's been going on. Is reselling dead? Absolutely not. Reselling will never die. However, the dynamics of it has changed, because you also made a point. People are quitting their 9-to-5s just to resell full time. You can't do that shit anymore.
No.
You got sneaker tubers, not like Jumperman Chris, for example, who's talked openly about it. He's like, man, I had to go back to work, man. I can't do this shit 100% now anymore. Because the market has changed so drastically, and it's forced resellers to adapt, adjust, or go out of business. So those are the things that people need to think about as we continue to move forward into 25 and into 26, even into 27. Like how that's going to go. And then Bitcoin, that's another aspect. And I want to touch on that briefly, because the big think tanks in economics here in this country, they made a lot of predictions against crypto and against Bitcoin, but you had a lot of unprecedented and unrelenting factors, a lot of factors that people never even thought to put into consideration. And that is, who the sitting president would be, what those government policies would be. When you have, the regime, and again, I don't look at it as administration, as the new regime takes over, you look at people like Elon Musk, and Mr. Think can tell you all about this, how he's now well over 400 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're seeing, yeah, he's over 400 billion. Well, I think the first to do it.
Yep.
Am I correct? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you have to think about, what does that really mean for you as a U.S. citizen? What does that really mean for you as a consumer? It's going to be a paradigm shift of power, where the rich continue to get richer and the poor go all the way down to the bottom of the barrel. So you have to follow those trends, and you have to see what a lot of these companies like Nike, Adidas, Puma, Asics, all these companies are doing right now to adjust, because economic inflation is out there, right? You have upside down. It's a very, what is it? Is it a bull or a bear market right now? I always confuse those two, Mr. Think.
They call it it's a bull market.
Bull.
Market.
And Perp, the analogy that they give is a bull strikes up with their horns, and a bear swipes down with their paws. So
you know what? I actually like that one better than the one I was going to come up with, because as a unfortunate Chicago Bears fan, bear down was always our motto. So, but I like yours better. Okay, so we see the triculation that's going to happen. And again, I'm not beating a dead horse here. I promise you, I'm not going to talk about tariffs on this live. but that's also another unrelenting factor. So
That's going to affect all the sneaker brands.
everybody, yes,
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
You know, we like to hone in on Nike and Jordan brand, but it's going to affect all the sneaker brands. You know, and
Yeah.
and another thing, like Mr. Thing has said in the past, with next year, there's going to be so many shoes dropping that there's always something coming next week. But we all know how it is. We miss out on something, and then eventually we want to try to reach back for it. Well, you
yeah.
gotta
I
be
just
careful
realized
what
the
you
Rookie of the
decide.
Years dropped the first week in January. Did you all know that?
Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
in
Oh,
4
yeah.
weeks. That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Black Cat 3's released in January too.
And Tier Zero boutiques have already started getting their pairs in smaller sizes.
Well, the Black Cat 3's have already hit the streets. People are paying like $300 for them.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
Which is something I talked about earlier, was the fact that
okay,
Nike is looking at the fact that people are paying for these shoes that are going to release at a lower price point for retail. People are paying like, $50 to $100 over just to get them early.
so
Yo.
where are your kicks, Mr. Think? I have a question for you both. I'd love to get your insight on it. I'm sure the chat would as well. What do you attribute to the mass influx of early pairs of just sneakers across the board this year, as opposed to, say, the last 3 to 4 years?
I mean, to be honest with you, from a market standpoint and how resellers move, it seems to be the early sneakers are where they can make their mark and make an actual profit on something.
So that's
Getting
how
the
they
stuff
circumvent
early.
the system, is what you're saying.
As far as being able to keep up with selling shoes,
Yeah, making their profit.
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
I like
the
that.
early pairs. The early pairs. Because think about it. Most of the shoes now, especially the GRs, they're sitting. And it's wild to me when you see how many GRs have sat on the shelf and gone below retail, that people are willing to pay a whole bunch of money to get the shoe early. Now, granted, Bread for Reimagines, you could say that's probably going to be a tough cop as far as a GR that was going to release. And was it? Listen, even though we touched multiple pairs, we didn't touch multiple pairs just from sitting here. We actually got out there and had to go around and find these pairs. Now, depending on where someone lives, that can obviously be a major factor in their ability to be able to cop shoes. Because if you recall, I forget, it was either Military Blue 4s or it was the Bread for Reimagines. One of the stores was canceling orders on people.
Yeah.
And I forget which one of the shoes it was. Which obviously, like, if you got a dub and then you get your order canceled, that obviously is going to put you late to the game, because they canceled the orders a few days after release day. And so, had people known their orders were going to be canceled like that day, they probably could have moved a little different and gone out and getting a pair. Now, it's probably the Bread 4s, because when's the last time you saw a restock or how many restocks did we hear about on the Bread 4 Reimagines? It was slim to none. Slim to none. Military Blue 4s, they restock them there every week.
I remember at least one on those Bread 4s. At least. I do remember one. I missed it,
Yeah.
but I do remember one.
The Bread 4s that dropped this year. Yeah.
Correct,
They
yes,
restocked
Bread
a
4
couple of
Reimagines.
times. Yeah, they
Right,
restocked a couple of times that I remember, but it was slim pickings.
Correct. Slim pickings, and they went fast.
Yeah.
They would go fast. Couple comments here. Jason Catoni says they better put out 2 million gammas. Jeffrey Flight, Gamma 11s must cop. Tyler says, my local sneaker resale shop just started selling sports cards to try and keep up with the trend.
Mhm.
That's like listen, I've seen resale shops that got Pokemon cards. Like, again, you know, we were talking about shoes you see go for a lot of money. Like, you know, before you got on here, Perp, I asked the question to Jay. I said, if the pandemic never happened, do you think the Panda Dunk would have touched $400 in resale?
From my perspective, hell no.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't have happened.
Listen, I'd be hard pressed to say they would touch 225, let alone 200.
Yeah, but that was an anomaly, though. That was such a weird anomaly, man. Like,
it was. I mean, it was. But the real factor is you couldn't put in any footwork to go get the shoe.
Correct. And Perp, even though Lewis nailed it, you know, with your question, just to kind of talk about the pandemic a little bit.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of what you're talking about right now, getting an early pair was possibly the only way you can actually even get a sneaker. So during that time, so like just using that as an example, because I'm not embarrassed because I've said it before, but let me grab it real quick, and then I'm gonna tell you what I paid for these, because it's embarrassing on what I did pay for them.
Mhm.
But these right here, I got them early. $350.
But see, that's a sign of the
paid
times,
$350.
though.
Yep, I paid $350 for these.
Early.
And what's
You know
the
what I mean?
What are they going for now?
Oh, they were under. They went under retail when they dropped. But this was like my early pair.
Right.
You know, during that, you know, those times or whatever. And I paid $350 for those to get them early.
And it's so funny you just brought that up, Derek, because I had a conversation just last week with another group, and that was a sneaker of topic that came up with being a 450 plus shoe in the next 5 years.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
They say that shoe right now you can get a size 12 on GOAT, 171.
171.
Yeah.
Now let's just say these analytics are correct, and that shoe does go up to 450 in 5 years, or up leading up to 5 years. Man, that ROI is insane. But it's also a testament to what I've been saying with one of my theories. Now I have no analytics behind this. I'm just following the markets. How a lot of these shoes that people are thumbing their nose at now, and they're like, oh, Jordan 1s are dead, and they go in the vault, this and that or whatever. Those same sneakers that you thumbed your nose at today are going to be worth some bread down the road. I guarantee you.
Yes.
Stamp it.
For sure, because we cannot totally foresee the future. So, you know, we can always get that C19 2.0 or something else, and you know what I mean. Nothing is impossible, and you know, in an instant, things can change again, and you know what I mean. You're
Yep.
absolutely right, and things can instantly go to like a slim pickings. It can instantly happen.
Yeah, because the ones are going to be the most sought after silhouette, you know, in the future again. Once again, everything's peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Everything has its peaks and valleys, just
Oh,
like
yeah.
the ones were up at one point. Now the 4s are up. They're on the way out. The 3s were up at one point. So, I mean, we're going to see it eventually. You just have to be patient enough and wait it out.
I mean, look at all the ones we're getting next year. Shattered backboards, Union frags, bread high 85s. They're talking about bringing out the Shadow 85 highs. I mean,
Yeah.
like you know, just remember, a lot of y'all don't like Jordan 1s. Jordan 1s are dead. They're whack.
So keep that same energy.
They're whack. Remember that. They're whack now. Y'all don't like no Jordan 1s. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting my hand in
NG
those
said
rookie of the
they
year.
overdid. NG, shout out to NG being in the chat. He said they overdid the ones though, milked them. Granted, you could say that too for the Air Forces. They milk Air Forces. They release how many Air Forces a year? You know. Now, granted, you'll get like a nice little special pair like these Kobe's, which we got to talk about the Kobe's.
Well, hold on for a
Especially that
second. Let's
black
talk
pair.
about Air Force Ones while we're on that subject real quick.
Well, that's what
How
I
about-
mean.
How about Ama is about to drop another Air Force One?
Are you a fifth Air Force One? I'm a Meunier.
Ama is dropping another a white Air Force One next year in 2025. So when you want to talk about milking Air Force Ones and Ama Meuniers, I mean, God, that's like the best of both worlds here.
I mean, here's the thing. Listen, I'm a Meunier is going to have an issue next year, in my opinion.
They have an
They're
issue
gonna have
this
an
year.
issue. They are, but they're gonna have a real problem next year because they're not branching out in terms of the silhouettes that they're using. Like they're gonna give us another 5, 2 5s next year, 2 more 5s next year. Now they're gonna do a 5th Air Force One, and for those of you wondering why I keep saying a 5th Air Force One. Because they did 3 Air Force Ones for the hand wash cold series, and then we got an Air Force One for the while you were sleeping.
And then people forget about the friends and family one too all the time.
Well, that's the third. That's one of the third. The black pair, 989 pairs of the friends and family.
Sheesh, that's tough.
You know what I mean? So now they're gonna do a 5th Air Force One. Like, look, give me. How about you do like an Ama Meunier 8? Give me an Ama Meunier 7. Hell, I'll take another Ama Meunier 1. Give me another Ama Meunier 1.
And they say a lot of people have color fatigue right now as well. They're looking for another assortment of colors for Ama. Me personally, I don't have a problem with it, but I get it. I understand why.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they have been known to branch out color-wise.
The silhouette, the colorway, the extra money you're paying for shipping just to get it on Nike a week later.
NG goes, Ama 17 would be fire. Yeah, they talked about that Ama Meunier 17. They did. Are we ever going to see it? I don't know. And Perp, to your point, Ama Meunier's branched out with colors. They've used blue. They've used green. And that's about it.
Short list.
Short list, you know. They've used blue, they use green, you know, and I'm saying that aside from the normal colors you get with Ama Meunier, with like the burgundies, the blacks, the whites.
Hey, real random question real quick. What color does blue and green together make?
Blue and green. Is that orange? No. No, you need a little bit of red in there to get orange. What color does blue and green make? Teal.
It makes teal?
That's what it says. It says when you mix together blue and green, you get colors like teal or turquoise.
Turquoise. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Because there's a turquoise 6 Ama Meunier that is rumored to be dropping in 2026.
Interesting.
So more to come around that, but man, my little antennae are floating right now.
For those of y'all out there, I got it. I'm sharing my screen right now, showing this is what it says. When you mix blue and green together, you create colors like teal or turquoise.
I wonder is Ama trying to send subliminal little messages out there, little hints, little breadcrumbs.
By combining the colors, I believe so. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You know. Probably. But we were discussing the Kobe Air Force Ones. Now, I'm not talking about the white pair. You know, we'll leave this out of the conversation. I'm talking about that quote unquote supposed black pair. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because they're supposed to be numbered. 8,000 total pairs. Well, if you go to StockX right now, you can go on there and you can search for the Kobe Air Force One pair. But type in this little word called unnumbered. And you will see that they have unnumbered black Kobe Air Force Ones. Which is nasty work to me, in my opinion. And shout out to Tyler. Non-numbered pairs are now on GOAT too. So, let me bring this up for y'all real quick. So here we go. Now you see it clearly. It says what? Numbered edition. Miles Cage, what's good with you, bro?
Yo, what
What's
up,
good
bro?
with you? Next year gonna be a movie, 40th anniversary, but don't think they've said anything yet. You see, they've said a whole lot about next year. Now, I showed y'all that, right? Now tell me out there who knew that they had unnumbered pairs of these. Look at this. Right here. Non-numbered pairs.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Okay, all right, bet.
Non-numbered pairs
So
on these black Kobe Air Forces. Now, granted, as Tyler said, they got them on GOAT as well. But I didn't hear one thing about this except for that issue where someone bought a size 7 from the bait store and it was non-numbered in there. So we thought it was a one-off. And now they have a whole section of them listed here on StockX and GOAT that you can get these black Kobe's non-numbered.
so here's the question. Where do you get the numbered pair from?
So the numbered pairs, from what I know, they were all released in mainly the California stores, and they had, I know that they did a release for Kith here in Miami with some numbered pairs.
Is that considered like a SE? The number pairs? Like, what's the?
Well,
I guess.
Well, first off, and to your point, tell me the person that said there were non-numbered black Kobe's out there. Nobody knew that. Nobody knew that. And so now you got these floating around out there, which, if anything, should obviously raise the value of a numbered pair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
but you know, it's we didn't hear.
Ooh,
No
what if
one
it had
had
the
any
opposite effect,
information.
What if it had the opposite effect? Because
Go
if you
ahead.
just had a numbered pair, right? Then obviously it's already limited because it's numbered. But now that you got a non-numbered pair, it's almost like, hey, my foot's inside of it. You don't know if it's a numbered or non-numbered. What if it had the opposite effect and actually, drop the value of a numbered pair? Because what if just people didn't care? That's my question.
That's true.
I just want the shoe. I don't give a damn if it's numbered or not. I got the shoe.
There's people that'll say that, and then they'll go for a non-numbered pair to, obviously save money. I mean,
Right. Right.
Kashif says, do you buy off GOAT? Yes. I buy off GOAT. I've bought off StockX. Bought off
Yo.
eBay. The only place I haven't bought from is, Flight Club and GOAT are kind of the same. So, the Poison app, And look, listen. We try to let people know. We try to pass this information on to people all the time. The Poison app, you sign up on there for free. You get 10 free legit checks per month. Per month. So when you buy off the secondary websites, whether it be Goat, StockX, whatever, it's always smart to do your due diligence and double check the shoe if you got questions about it. Hell, I got the I haven't even had a chance to post a video on them yet. The Wu-Tang Clan dunks. I got them off Goat. Right? Had them run through the legit checking app. And they passed. Cool, we good. Speaking of which, we didn't talk about the how the government came for GOAT, did we?
Nah, I was actually just about to read something. I got some just in, not related to sneaker news.
What's up?
I'm gonna slaughter his name, but I'm gonna try. I just got just in. OpenAI whistleblower Suchair Balahi has been found dead in apparent suicide.
Oh.
The whistleblower.
Dun, dun, dun.
Crazy.
Look, that's what happened to your boy that tried to blow the whistle on the coronavirus.
Yep. The doctor. Yep.
And there were a bunch of doctors that mysteriously. Remember the group that was on that airplane? I forgot where they were flying to. Yeah.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
That's a whole other conversation for another day.
Yes, sir.
Not to get off topic.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so there was a lawsuit out there concerning GOAT where basically they were found and fined because of their shipping issues. Especially when it came to like their instant ship. To make a long story short, what ended up happening was it said that they weren't holding up to their end of the deal when it came to shipping the items in a timely factor, and they were fined about $2 million to basically, fix whatever the issue is and get it corrected. Now, how this stuff comes up as to how it even gets looked into, I don't know, but with all that's been happening with StockX as well, look what they had to implement now. They had to implement some crazy return policy because of they're admitting in court documents that they can't legit check everything. But let me tell you, neither can GOAT, neither can Flight Club, neither can Poison, neither can eBay. It's always best to double check. Always best to double check. Matter of fact, I'll tell y'all straight up. I went to a sneaker brunch a few months ago. It was back in May. They had raffles going for if you purchased like certain items off the menu, you would get a raffle ticket for some of the sneakers they were giving away. I ended up winning a pair of size 10 Air Forces, all white Air Forces. And I thought about doing just, some giveaway on them. I sat on them for months just thinking like, I'll probably do something with them at some point. Got to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and just sell these. I want them for free. Let me go ahead and sell them. Sent them things in the GOAT. Guess what?
Whatever.
They're fake. They came back fake.
That's right.
When I got them back in, I pulled out, my size 12 Air Force Ones and was looking at them compared to these size 10s that I had on me. And I'm trying to see what the distinctions were. Derek, when I tell you, I could not see it. I couldn't see it, bro. Now, shout out to being a part of the community because I was able to get in touch with the people that hosted that sneaker brunch and let them know what happened. And I was able to get in contact with the guy who put the pair up for the giveaway. He's got a resale shop down in Miami. And went down there and was able to do an exchange, and he gave me a legit pair plus some other merchandise. Not sneakers, talking about clothes. But before I left with those shoes, I ran them right on the Poison app before I walked out of there just to make sure.
Smart move.
You know? Now here's the thing. I'm so thankful I was being a lazy ass and putting those up as a free giveaway because the last thing I want is to put a fake pair into someone's hands that come to this channel.
Right. And what was the retail of these kicks? Or resell, either or.
A pair of white Air Force Ones?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean when I went to go sell them on GOAT?
No. Like just in general, to where like you got fake. You know what I mean? What are they going for? Like just generally speaking.
Air Force. I mean,
just generally.
I mean, hell, you can go in walk into any store basically,
right, and pick them up
for $110.
Right.
You know.
I mean, ultimately, that's what I was trying to say. Like,
yeah,
like
retails like $110 on them.
Yeah, you out here faking something that's like readily available. So, at least in the meantime, because didn't we mention something about they were going to reduce like production?
They said in 2022 that they were going to reduce production of the Air Force Ones in 2023, but that's because resellers were basically buying up all the Air Force Ones,
customizing them joints.
Not even. They would put them in the store and then sell them for $150. Yeah, some people would get them, customize them, but they were buying up Air Force Ones and then they put them in their resale shop, $150 for them.
Gotcha.
And people were buying them.
Yeah.
People were buying them. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We definitely appreciate y'all being up in here, man. NG, Tyler, Miles Case Jr., Jeffrey Flight, Sheaf. What is this? Beam Benz Bentley. Oh, Beam and Benz Bentley. I like that.
With Lloyd Banks.
Yeah. G-Fish, what up? That's right. Bird Gang. Steelers, Sunday, 4:30. They're going to put some respect on my guy, Jalen Hurts' name, man. They're going to put some respect on my guy's name. Zoro, Mr. T, what's good, bro? G-Fish, man, we got to get you up here on another panel, bro, for sure. We got to get you on another one. By the way, for those y'all tapped in, I was hoping it arrived today. It hasn't gotten here yet. We want to let you guys know that we will be doing a sneaker pack giveaway. Sneaker cleaning pack giveaway, I should clarify. For free. But the way to get an entry is we're going to have trivia. So for those of you guys who've been tapped in, make sure you guys are subscribed up to the channels. Some of it may involve different information from the channel. Some of it may involve different information out here in the sneaker world itself. So hopefully you guys are up on your info when it comes to these sneakers. For example, some of the inspiration behind these Jordan silhouettes. That might be a question. Could be. But we definitely want to give back to the community. We all came together. But I'm going to post it out there too on my IG and here on YouTube as well. It's going to be a big old box. Bunch of stuff in there. Someone's going to win that for free. No money to enter either. My man said chilling, watching the news. Houston, Texas was busy last night. Hey, listen. I believe it. Miami was busy last night too. All right. That being said, next week, December 21st, Travis Scott dropping. They say total pairs made 100,000. How many pairs you think we getting on the sneakers app, Mr. Think?
Let's say we're gonna go Travis Scott. I'm going with
53,000? Oh, 27.
27. I'm going low.
27,000.
I don't like the way that sounded.
27,000 pairs.
27.
Okay.
Might not be that bad.
27,000 pairs. What do you think, Jay?
Oh, that's Perp. I don't think shit,
Perp.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Perp. What's this? What is this on my...
I would say probably about 23,000.
Ooh.
22 to 23,000. I'm always on the conservative side with Travis Scott.
Yeah. Now, are we gonna see a shock drop?
Probably not.
Exclusive access, maybe.
We see a hell of a lot of raffles, that's for sure. I don't know about
Yeah.
You're damn right about that.
Yeah.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
Hey, Perp, real quick. What time are you going to this event?
Probably about 3:00 Central Standard.
Okay. Got you.
So set your alarm.
Yeah, I got you.
So you'll be the first thing I take care of when I get there. Pause.
I appreciate that. Maria Blige. Yeah, just let me know.
Man.
For sure.
Listen, we got a campaign. Get Mr. Think I'm Possible his Pine Green SB4s.
Finally. I've been patient.
Yeah, that's the one shoe. See, look. That's
I've been
the shoe you've been
patiently
chasing.
waiting to blow.
Pause.
Nah, I don't like the way that sounded.
Oh
But that did come from 50 Cent though.
So Tyler goes, they aren't on Sneakers app yet. So that being said, there could potentially be a shock drop. Don't count on it, but there could be one. You know what they could do is like a sneaker cam. They could do like a sneaker cam for them or something like that, you know. Or they'll do like a location drop or something.
Oh, true that.
You know. So they might do something for some of y'all out there. You know what I mean? We'll have to wait and see. But again, man, we're 17 days away from the last day here in December. About to head into 2025. Our last live of the year is going to be December 28th, as far as the podcast is concerned. You know, and then we're going to be kicking off the new year. But we want y'all to make sure you join us these next 2 weeks, especially that, you know, Travis Scott dropping, and then the final week, man. We're going to basically look back over the course of 2024 and kind of give our opinions on, you know, like top 5 sneakers, best sneaker campaigns, what each of our individual, you know, top sneaker cops were for the year. And then we want to definitely get you guys in and hear your opinions on what you all thought for this year as well. You know, with a lot of different things. We got a lot coming up. A giveaway, more lives. And then next year in the 2025, man, with everything dropping, it's going to be a whirlwind of a year for sure. And if those off-white bread fours drop, oof.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna be trouble.
Christmas is canceled.
Oh,
right.
Oh.
That's gonna be trouble.
Oh, man. I mean, they talking about them off-white ones, but nah. Them bread.
That's why I said last night, man. Yo, those bread fours are Travis Giller. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're Travis Scott killer.
Oh, for sure.
Nobody on this planet would pass up that sneaker for a pair of Travis Scotts, no matter how coveted.
Right.
Facts.
Right.
There you go.
And speaking of which, we don't know if the rumors are true, but you know, there were rumors out there that Nike and Travis Scott's were a little bit on the rocky side. Although it doesn't seem plausible. Well, maybe it does, because then we got information saying that Travis Scott wanted to be more involved with his releases. Now, I don't know what that means, because it's already a damn shame as it is to try to cop a shoe off his website, as most of that is already spoken for to begin with. But that'll be a conversation for another day. Perp, you out there on the road driving around right now, man? What you got? Close out.
Man, look, chat. Thank you all, man, for tapping in as always, man. You all are the 5th member of our crew, always and forever. And man, didn't realize it, man, until Where Your Cakes stated it. We are really closing up on 1 year. Look, it takes 9 months to make a baby. We've extended that. So we've shot past those numbers, and we have blown our load all over your proverbial screen.
Sheesh.
Oh, yeah.
You
We
get
made it
nasty
real.
like J Elevate now.
2024 has been a juicy year for sneakers. And we thank
It
y'all
has
for tapping in, man. We thank y'all we love y'all, man. And so we hope y'all have a great weekend. That's all I got.
Jay, what you got, bro? Jay, you on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
Good. So, fam, like I got a lot going on today, so I've been in and out with y'all a lot. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Congratulations out there to everybody who went on ahead and copped the Air Jordan 11 Legend Blues. Again, fam, appreciate y'all for rocking with us. If you have not done so, make sure you subscribe to Where Your Kicks. Mr. Think, my brother Perp channel is coming, and I'm your boy J Elevate. Listen, I know you guys out there be rocking your sneakers. Make sure you go onto the Rejuvenator website, and during your checkout, use my promo code to save 10% off of all of your Rejuvenator product needs. J_Elevate. Where Your Kicks?
WYK26.
Fam, without y'all, this is not possible. Like, share, subscribe for real sneaker content. You know the model.
Thought you was gonna give us a little bit of jaw action with that. I guess not. Pause.
Whoa, Paul.
Damn.
Paul.
Y'all both on some nasty work today, bro. Nasty work.
Hey, shout out to everybody who tapped in today. I was not able to stream to my channel because, you know, I was working and doing all that good stuff. But look, it's always good being on the panel, see my brothers on here. So look, thanks for tapping in. Shout out to everybody who hit on these Legend Blues. You know what I mean? If you wanted them, hopefully you got them. That's all I got. Yo, that's not all I got. Man, I got some, I got to put some videos out, man. I got these Woo Dunks. I got my, what's the ones? The Frankensteins, the ones I didn't like. The Becky Beauty Supply, Jordan 1s. I got those in. I got my Kobe's in.
Go that. Nice.
Yeah, yep. I got my Kobe's in. So yeah, man, I got some videos I need to make. Like I really do. I gotta make my 11s video. Yeah, man, I got some videos I need to make.
Facts.
Coming soon.
Pause.
Coming sooner than later.
Hey man, yeah,
Hey.
chat.
Y'all, wow.
Yeah,
Y'all piling
man.
out.
Y'all on some nastiness today, man. Hey, look,
Yeah,
chat,
well, you know.
shout out to everybody out there who tapped in with us, man. Make sure you catch us next week, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Standard Time. Make sure you have those notification bells turned on, because you never know, we might show up at some point during the week. In any case, man, guys, tap in with us. We love y'all. Giveaways coming up soon. We'll let y'all know how you can be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Coming up on the end of the year, we got a couple more lives to get through. You know what I mean? And then we going right into 2025. Appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. It's Lewis of the Way Kick Shine, reminding you to be true, stay in the moment, and don't forget, Every day's a great day to wear your kicks. And we out, y'all. Peace.